Now we're talking, what your question is actually smaller, because when you get into Gator 4.0, what I do is I teach you guys how to leverage into other people's deals, which is, bro, tell me how insane that strategy is.
It's been crazy. I mean, there's clearly such a need for it in the investor community. Like, I wake up some mornings with over 200 Facebook messages. I feel like it's a little bit more complicated because, you know, some of these people I'm only partnering with one time, and I might own 30, 40% of the property.
This is where I'm going with it. Okay.
But within my team, I have 5 other people on my team that we formed our own LLC, and we split everything evenly 6 ways. So I'm also worrying about, I just ran with it. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just figuring it out.
I love it.
This is the definite.
If you guys ever want to see the identity of a picture of a visionary, just look at Jake. This is how visionaries operate right here. It's like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I got my hands all over a ton of deals. Things are cranking. I got partnerships with everybody. Bro, kudos to you.
It's hard to keep track of, though, even with the team.
Let me ask you a question. Would you rather be the person that's sitting there going, what do I do next?
Absolutely
or where do I start? Because they're so afraid of their own shadow. Or the guy that has learned literally 1,000 lessons in the last 3 or 4 months since you've been taking heavy action.
Any day. Yeah.
All day long. You have gotten millions of dollars of education all day long. As Robin Hurt says, a glorious mess. I love it. Okay, so let's get into the question. We've gotten enough context for everybody else to get value from this. You now, Jake, kudos to you, are utilizing Gator to go out and sponsor other people's loans. Okay, this is one of the greatest ways to get your hands on deals where you didn't have to cold call, you didn't have to negotiate, you don't have to do any follow-up systems. You literally just go, I'll sponsor your loans for your deals. Now, There's a lot of training that goes into this. This is why I created a whole entire education system for this, because there's a lot, okay? Because there's a lot that can go wrong here that you got to protect yourself with paperwork. Okay, and this is where your question comes in. So let's say that Jake, you decide, I'm going to go sponsor Tim's loan, and you guys own the property. He owns 70%, you own 30%. A couple of the things that could go wrong here. In this situation, Tim is actually the operator. You are essentially a passive investor. Am I right?
Yes.
Cool. So you are passive. Here's the thing is, you want to make sure your agreements, and I can help you out with this. I have not ever released these agreements. These will end up going into Gator 4.0 when I get there. These agreements need to make sure that you have the ability to take over the property in the event, and this is not your question, but you need to know it. It's very important. This is one of the biggest things. In the event that this person does not do their job, you need to be able to take over the other 70% of the deal. By the way,
I'm happy you brought that up. I've been using performance deeds.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the right way to do it, but that's what we've been doing.
You need to have it in your partnership operating agreement needs to state that you have the ability to kick your partner out based on lack of performance. Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yes.
You take over the property if they cannot perform. Now, this is not your question, but I need to make sure you go have an operating agreement. Okay. Doesn't sound like you're having solid operating agreements. Is that right, Jake?
I have an operating agreement for every single deal. I just don't have any buy. I use a transaction coordinator for everything, but you know, at the same time, it's like you said, 4.0 hasn't come out yet. So we're kind of just.
Have you seen my operating agreements in our Sub2 Facebook group?
I don't think I've looked them up yet.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna tell you something real quick. Please write this down. Everybody that's brand new. Whether you're brand new or you've been in here for 3 years, there's no excuse for you to not stop and think about this. Every time you do something significant, think, has Pace already, in a 3-year time frame, thought about supplying this thing that I need? The answer is 100% I have. In fact, about a year ago, I posted in our Facebook group, I paid $15,000. Okay, let's see here. Operating agreement. Watch how cool this is. Boom, there it is. December 22nd, 2022, operating agreement and buy-sell agreement right there, bro. This cost me $4,000 and I gave it to you.
That might be the one I'm using. I mean, the transaction coordinator that I use is also a Sub2 student, so that might be the one that I'm already using.
Just verify, please. Okay?
I will.
Guys, I pay you to be in here. Okay, I pay you to be a student. I pay you. I promise you, I pay you. The operating agreement, you need to have a buy-sell agreement is what it's called. They're two separate agreements, operating agreement and a buy-sell agreement. In the event that one partner wants to buy out the other partner, it's in that agreement. The terms of the buyout are already determined in that agreement. I'll give you a good example. I have a business partner. Actually, I don't anymore. This is great. I don't have a business partner anymore. I used to have a business partner that this happened with, okay? This is why this is important. And I'll tell you what I think the buyout agreement should be for your specific deals when I'll get to my point, but I want to make sure we have backstory, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, I have a partner in my wholesale business. Okay, actually I had 3 partners in my wholesale business. One of our partners was brought in when I got my TV show with A&E. I said, hey, let's bring in a partner. And this partner did literally 10% of what he was supposed to do. Maybe not even that. It was so bad that for a year and a half, we just continued to put up with it. And I said, enough is enough. So this partner and I, we went back to our operating agreement. And in our operating agreement, it said, we don't need to buy this person out at all. If you are not doing your job, because it's a wholesale company, there's really no assets in a wholesale company, right?
Right.
So there's no buyout agreement whatsoever. So what we did is we went to this person and we said, you're not doing your job. And I wrote one email. Literally, I personally wrote an email to my attorney and I copied this person on the email. And I said, we would like to kick out so-and-so from our company effective immediately for not doing X, Y, and Z in the operating agreement. That's all it took. The next day, there was an agreement signed. This person got kicked out of the company and our company continued on without him. That also is a buy-sell agreement, or in the operating agreement, if one partner does not operate properly, what are the terms? Who is in charge of what? Guess what? This partner that we just ousted from our wholesale operation also was a partner with us in another company. This other company had 500 employees in it. Think there's some assets here? Yes, there are assets here. This partner, same thing, wasn't even doing 10% of his job. I would say not even, it was in fact the opposite. He was fighting against company culture. He was doing everything against what he said he was going to do. By the way, he's not a bad guy. He's a phenomenal human being. And we fought against this for a couple of years. Guess what we did? We go, enough is enough. And I called Cody, my partner, and I said, this has got to end. I can't have this person in my life anymore. Guess where I went? I went to my buy-sell agreement and we saw, oh, the buy-sell agreement says we have to take the valuation of the company. Valuation of the company at the time was $7 million. And that $7 million, we have to give him a buyout option, and which you don't have. This is how easy it is when you have a buy-sell agreement. And I'm going to get to what I would do and how I would structure it. In this situation, we would have had to give him $2.3 million of the business. But I went to the buy-sell agreement, and in our buy-sell agreement, it stated I only had to give him 10% of his portion of the ownership today in the buyout agreement. And then I could make payments to him for the remaining balance for 10 years. Pretty favorable for me, right?
Right.
But here's the thing. It was taking so much time for us to get a business appraisal that I just go, you know what? I'm just going to offer him $1 million to get out of the business. And these are things that I'm just learning now, guys. I'm learning this stuff as I go. We all are learning this stuff as we go. So I went and I said, we'll give you $1 million, not the 2.3, and I'll give you 10% down of that, which we did. I gave him $100,000 to walk away, and he gets a payment of $11,000 per month from this company and no longer has any voting rights until I pay out that $11 million. Do you know how bad this would be if I didn't have a buy-sell agreement and I didn't have an operating agreement? It would have been so bad. I literally, through this entire process, I did not talk to that human being one time, not one time. It was all done through email referencing our agreement. Now, Jake, here's how I would structure my deals. If I come in as a loan sponsor on a deal, meaning I'm just using my credit and my resources, I'm going to own this property with this person. Let's say it's 30%, 70%. You only have credit involved. So my question to you is, why would you anticipate you need that 30% wiped out or vice versa? What is the anticipation for that?